Hey, good afternoon, folks. It's Steve, Cat5JUF. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon out there. So today I am kind of changing up the pace a little bit. I kind of wanted to go back and do some new videos on some things that I think might be helpful for particularly new hams and so forth. So I kind of had some ideas and I kind of went through and I made a list of some of the things that were kind of interesting to me when I first got into FM and stuff. So I thought I would kind of share with you what I did and how I got on 2 meter, particularly, and kind of how I developed my 2 meter skills. So it might give you an idea, particularly if you have an FT991A, it might give you some ideas to think about. So what we'll go over, we'll talk about modes and selecting some common simplex frequencies and so forth, and some of the equipment that I use too. So I thought it might just share with you kind of my journey into 2 meter FM. So if you're, like I said, if you're brand new, this might give you something to think about. So 2 meter, this is a overview of 2 meter essentially. There are two modes that actually several modes that the FT991A can support in 2 meter. But primarily what I want to talk about was the main one that I use is FM and also upper sideband, because the FT991A can also talk upper sideband in 2 meter. So that's pretty cool. That's what they call an all mode radio. Means usually it can talk C4 FM, digital narrow, digital wide, upper sideband, and so forth. So when they say all mode, that means pretty much you can talk sideband and so forth. So what I did is I went through and I channelized my channels within the simplex frequency talking range. So essentially what I did is I took the frequencies that are in simplex, within the simplex region of the band, and I put these into my radio with a 20 kilohertz separation. So in other words, one of the frequencies would be at 146.20, 146.40, and so forth. So what I did is I added a couple of these, and what we started doing here in the area here is we've started having local 2 meter talks. Particularly, one of the frequencies we use is 146.440. So I'll show you how to program that into the radio. We'll also do an upper sideband frequency too. So the ideal here is to program the radio, get familiar with where you can talk on 2 meter. Everything you see over here is wide open simplex, so you can pick any frequency you want. This is the national calling channel, but feel free to get on any of these channels with any of your friends and on FM and just start having a QSO. This is upper. This is let's see. This is the upper sideband. Oh, excuse me. This is again. This is just a quick recap. Everything is channelized. 20 kilohertz is a separation I did. This is upper sideband. There's the calling frequency, and we'll program in. I'm going to program in two frequencies into the FT991A, and I'll show you how to do that. So this is my equipment. Basically, I have a Comet GP1. This is my diamond watt meter, my coax, and of course the radio. Now typically on local QSOs, I usually talk with about 5 watts. That's usually all you need. So that pretty much is my setup. Just again, this is just to kind of get the new guys who have an FT991A and you've got your technician license and hey, you're ready to go talk on 2 meters. So here you go. I'll go ahead and show you how to program it. Again, I'm going to program in this frequency here, 146.440, and I'm going to also program in this frequency here, 144.220, and I'm going to refer to those as 2 meter FM talk and 2 meter upper sideband. So again, this is just to get technicians who are new to ham radio. FM is probably going to be your first experience, and if you have an FT991A, I'm going to show you how to program it, put you a couple of channels into the memory banks, and show you how to operate the radio on 2 meters. So, okay, I'll be right back. Stand by. Hey, good afternoon, folks. Steve again. So today, second part of the video here, I'm going to show you how I go in and actually program some frequencies. I'm going to program two simplex frequencies. One of them will be 146440 simplex, and the other one is going to be 146440, and then the other frequency is going to be 144220. So what we'll do first, let's get into it. So to start out on the radio, the first thing we'll do is we'll go to Vfo mode, and now I've got full control. So the first thing on the first frequency I'll do is the 146440. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to mode, and I'm going to make sure I'm in FM. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter my frequency, so I'm going to go to band and enter, and I'm going to enter 146440. Now I'm going to hit 0 3 times because there's actually a decimal here that you can't see, so I'm going to press it 1, 2, 3 because you can't actually see the decimal past here, so just a little tip there. So now we have the frequency 146440. We have the mode correct. Whoops, it timed out. 146440,000. Press enter. Now there's a couple of things we need to make sure of. Since we're in simplex, one of the little things I see right there, you see that encode? That tells me I have the tone function enabled, and I need to disable that because remember, we're talking simplex, so the tone has to do with the repeater and so forth. But I'm going to show you, that was just something that I wanted to point out real quick there. I'm going to go ahead and lock the VFO. So what I need to do here is I need to take that and I need to make sure there's nothing right here. So watch this. When I go here, I'm going to go over here to tone, and I'm going to press I'm looking for off. Okay, now the tone is off, and this little portion of the screen is clear, because if I wouldn't have done that, I would have been transmitting with the tone while my voice was being transmitted on simplex. So that's just a quick tip there. So what I noticed was that little function there was on, and since I was playing around with the radio earlier on the repeater, I just need to discipline myself to make sure that when I'm programming simplex that we have the tone disabled, and it'll disappear and it shows off. So that's important, just a little tip there. So now we have the mode correct and the frequency correct, and we don't have anything here in this portion of the display indicating that we might have a tone or some setting on a repeater that we do not want on simplex. So we're good to go. Now what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and save it to memory location 2. So I'm going to press the AM button once over here. I'm going to locate memory location number 2, which is in blue, and I'm going to press and hold. Right now what's happened is I've just transferred this frequency into memory location number 2. So while I'm in memory channel mode, the multi-channel connector, now multi-channel with the MCH, now has this visible, or I have control of it in the MCH mode. Yeah, there we go right there. There's channel 2. And so forth. So that looks good there. And now what we'll do here is when we go to channel 2 on memory location number 2, now we have it in there. The next thing we'll do is we're going to put a header up here, a little title. You notice on this location we have a title. Since we just added this one, I'm going to show you how to add what's called a tag. So what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and we will go back and hold FM list, and we'll select it, and I'm going to press tag, and we're going to call this one 2 meter FM center. Now we've given that a title, 2 meter FM talk. So that looks good. So now what we'll do is we're going to program in our second channel, which is going to be our upper sideband channel. So now we'll go back into Vfo mode, because right now I'm in memory mode, so when I press the VM button I'm back in Vfo mode. I'm going to go ahead and go to mode, and I'm going to go to upper sideband. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back to band, press enter, and I'm going to enter my frequency of 144.220, and I'm going to press 0, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to press enter. Alright, now what we'll do is we're in the correct mode, upper sideband, and I do not have anything in this portion of the display, no encoder or decoder or anything that might be indicating that I was working earlier on a repeater. So I'm going to go ahead and press the AM button once, and I'm going to go down to memory location number 3, and I'm going to press and hold, and now we just transferred that to position number 3. So let's go back to the memory list, press and hold, and now we have channel location number 3, 146.220 upper sideband. So now what we'll do is we'll give that one a tag also, and I'm going to press tag again. Notice how it's highlighted in blue, and I'm going to type here 2 meter upper sideband talk. And press enter. Alright, so now what we'll do is I'm going to click back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Vfo Memory, which is the button right here. Now we're in Vfo mode. Now with the MCH button, with this visible, the multi-knob has control of this. So now we can go through, and there's our memory location number 2. And this is also, we have nothing going on here, so that looks good. Memory, we have upper sideband here, and that looks good. So now what we'll do is let me show you one other thing. The other thing is, actually that's it for now. We've got our buttons and everything where we want them. Again, this is just to kind of give you a quick intro, and we'll be back with more videos. Again, thanks again for watching. Alright, this is the watt meter here, and essentially it's basically a cross watt meter, so you have your power on this side and your SWR, and of course wherever these two lines cross will be where your SWR is. My SWR is flat, but I'm going to make a call real quick and see if the frequency's in use, and you'll see the meter go up to 5 watts. This is KI5 JUF monitoring. Alright, so that's the video. Again, we went up to 5 watts and there was no reflective power. So again, that's just a quick introduction to 2 meter. I'll have some more stuff coming up, and again, thanks for watching.